Tonight's headlines: Rally still banned because of COVID. Pope's call may not affect LGBT policies, says Sotto. Palace warns of Reds movements. Coronavirus cases in the country now at 363,888. LTFRB opens more routes in Metro Manila. Saudel trough to bring rain and thunderstorms. PSEi rallies on recovery optimism. And Peso softens as stimulus hopes dim. Good evening. Today is Thursday, October 22, 2020. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. Malacanang on Thursday urged critics of the government to comply with the restrictions on mass gatherings amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that while the government respects freedom of speech, rallies are still prohibited as a measure to curb the spread of the deadly respiratory disease. Roque also clarified that gatherings had been limited to only 10 people and it would be easier for everyone to just follow the health and safety protocols being implemented in the country. To recall, left-leaning groups held protests in Manila on Wednesday to denounce the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. They also called for justice following the deaths of peasant leader Randy Echanis and Baby River, the daughter of detained activist Reyna May Nasino. The palace also issued a similar appeal ahead of the Independence Day celebration on June 12, but it did not stop the anti-government forces from holding rallies. Senate President Vicente Sotto III on Thursday said he doubts that Pope Francis's comment that same-sex couples should be covered by civil union laws would affect the stance of lawmakers in the Philippines. Last year, the Senate blocked the passage of the Sexual Orientation or Gender Identity or Expression Bill, which will accord same-sex couples civil rights enjoyed by heterosexual couples in a predominantly Catholic Philippines. According to Sotto, same-sex union is already being practiced in the country as it is tolerated but not in the legal sense. Aside from allowing the legal union of same-sex couples, the SOGI bill also seeks to eliminate gender-related discrimination in the Philippines, where several religious organizations continue to condemn homosexuality. The House of Representatives approved on final reading the SOGI bill in 2018, but the measure failed to hurdle the Senate's legislative mill even after President Rodrigo Duterte said he would certify the measure as urgent. The alternative proposal is expected to protect lesbians, gays, bisexuals, trans and queers, as well as other Filipinos from derogatory remarks, but would not accord same-sex couples legal rights like buying a property together or listing one another as immediate family members in cases of emergencies. The palace on Thursday urged actress Liza Soberano and former Miss Universe Catriona Gray to be wary of being taken advantage of by left-leaning groups while pushing for women's rights. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque made the comment after a military official warned the two celebrities against supposedly forging ties with the Communist New People's Army. Accusations linking Soberano to the NPA came after her participation in a webinar organized by Gabriela Youth, where she tearfully urged fellow influencers to speak up on issues affecting women and children. In a statement posted on the Facebook page of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict on Wednesday, Lieutenant General Antonio Parlade Jr. said Soberano is not an NPA because she is merely advocating for women's rights. Membership in communist organizations in the country is not illegal after the Anti-Subversion Act was repealed during the administration of former President Fidel Ramos. The camp of Soberano has denounced the red tagging of the actress, and in a statement, her legal counsel, attorney Juanito Lim Jr., said the actress was merely expressing her love and respect for women and children because it is her personal advocacy. 3B News on Q will be back after these reminders.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
The Department of Health reported 1,664 confirmed coronavirus disease cases in the country to bring the total number of infected to 363,888. The province of Cavite led the areas in the country that recorded the highest daily additional cases with 81. The cities of Malabon and Davao both recorded 76 new cases, followed by Iloilo City and Quezon City with 75 and 69 cases respectively. The number of recoveries, meantime, rose to 312,333 after 843 patients recovered from the deadly disease. The death toll is now at 6,783 following 38 fatalities recorded. Of the 44,772 active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine, 83.6% are mild, 11.2% are asymptomatic, 1.9% are severe, and 3.3% are in critical condition. The country has 149 licensed laboratories that have tested over 4.2 million individuals. At least 45% of the country's intensive care unit beds are occupied, while 22% of the mechanical ventilators are in use. According to the Johns Hopkins University's coronavirus dashboard, more than 41.2 million people have been infected by the COVID-19 virus globally since the start of the pandemic. Of those, more than 1.1 million have died and more than 28 million have recovered. In other news, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board has allowed more public utility jeepneys and UV Express to ply the routes in Metro Manila. The LTFRB said it would open 30 additional PUJ routes and 22 PUV routes effective on Sunday. A total of 2,768 public utility vehicles will be allowed to ply the roads of the National Capital Region, which is still under general community quarantine. The opening of more PUV routes is in accordance with the directive of Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade to implement the Oplan Air or Oplan Plan Ad Routes PUVs, increase speed capacity, and reduce travel time. The LTFRB also reminded the public that the land transport sector of the 7 commandments set by health experts, as it has so far opened a total of 322 routes for PUJ, authorizing 28,720 units. As for modern PUJs, 48 routes were opened and 845 units were authorized, while 34 public utility bus routes have been opened, allowing 4,164 units to ply the roads, and for provincial buses, 305 units were authorized with 14 routes opened. State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Thursday said that the trough of Typhoon Saudel, formerly Pepito, is expected to bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over Batanes, Babuyan Islands, Pangasinan, Zambales, Bataan, Occidental Mindoro, and Palawan. In its 24-hour forecast, the weather agency warned affected residents of possible flash floods or landslides due to scattered light to moderate rains. At 3 p.m. on Thursday, Saudel was located at 470 kilometers west of Sinait, Ilocos Sur, with maximum sustained winds of 120 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, localized thunderstorms are expected to bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers over Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Flash floods and landslides are also possible during severe thunderstorms. Pag-asa said the northeasterly surface wind flow is affecting extreme northern Luzon. Sunrise is at 5:43 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:28 p.m. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kami natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
In business, the local stock market rallied for the 4th straight session on Thursday as optimism on the country's economic recovery from the fallout brought by the COVID-19 pandemic continued to prompt investors to take in positions. The bellwether PSEi gained 66.04 points or 1.05% to 6,344.63 at the closing bell. The broader all shares increased by 27.90 points or 0.74% to 3,788.75. AAA Equities Head of Research Chris Mangun said that a pickup in the economy's recovery brought by lighter mobility restrictions as well as the downtrend in new coronavirus cases is the catalyst for the market's climb. He added that the PSEi ended higher despite trading lower at the open as some investors secured profits after a 3-day whopping rally. It moved higher towards the close as selling pressure was lighter than expected. Foreign funds bought 4.933 billion pesos worth of shares and sold 4.719 billion pesos for a net buying position of 214.2 million pesos. More than 1.276 billion shares valued at 9.808 billion pesos change hands. Decliners led advancers 112 to 100 and 43 issues were unchanged. And the Philippine peso softened against the greenback on Thursday, dragged by growing concerns over the planned U.S. fiscal stimulus. The local currency lost 1.5 centavos to close at 48.6 pesos to a dollar versus Wednesday's finish of 48.585 pesos to a dollar. Thursday's depreciation came after U.S. President Donald Trump accused Democrat lawmakers of being willing to craft an unacceptable compromise just a day after progress on deliberations was reported. Land Bank of the Philippines economist Gian Angelo Dumalagan said that the peso depreciated from lingering uncertainty on the discussions between the Democrat-ruled House of Representatives and Republican-ruled Senate over the U.S. stimulus package before the November presidential election. On Wednesday, the peso appreciated after Trump said he was willing to accept a large aid despite opposition from his own Republican Party. Dumalagan said U.S. housing starts and building permits likely improved in September, suggesting continued recovery, while U.S. efforts on manufacturing and services for October 2020 may show some slowdown. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. The Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM store for my shirts and jacket this evening. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel, and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
That's it, never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app, now you can check, view, subscribe, renew, help and support for you. Out with the Ring apps are the in thing, you know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako! Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung soft ha, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget ang hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa, cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami mag-deliver.
Call to deliver.